G'day guys, and welcome to now sunny Linlithgow, Scotland. I say now because about 30 minutes ago when I did the first take of this video, it was grey, it was cloudy, it was dark, it was raining. It was the complete opposite of what it is now. Nowhere else in the world have I seen weather change so quickly. It's actually quite unbelievable. So as I said, I'm redoing this bit now. I'm going to leave the rest of the video as was, so then you can see the difference between the weather between now and about 30 minutes ago. But first, let's talk about this significant area. Although the palace, as you saw just behind me, is super significant, so is this loch or lake behind us. Loch Linlithgow. The story surrounding this is really quite interesting. There was a guy back in the day who committed a crime, and he was banished to an island in this lake to starve to death. That was his punishment. Now, this guy owned a dog, a greyhound, and this dog obviously didn't want its owner to die, so it swam out to this man with food in bags in its mouth to feed the man on the island. Now, the townspeople became aware of the dog doing this after a little amount of time and stopped the dog from doing it. From there, the townspeople named the dog the Black Bitch. Now, this story is significant in Linlithgow, and it is obvious wherever you go. In the pubs, in the shops, in the cafes, you will find statues, ornaments, paintings, pictures, sculptures, etc. of the Black Bitch. Now, when I first saw the sculpture of the Black Bitch down in the town, which we'll go down to shortly, I was going, oh geez, it's a bit of an offensive way to, or name for a dog, but anything about it, it's a black greyhound and it's a female dog, so yes, it's a Black Bitch, so it makes sense. Anyways, you'll see that in the town, so if you're wondering what that is all about, that is the story behind the Black Bitch. So as I said, I'm going to go down to the town now, and we're going to walk through the town, and we'll come back and end up at this beautiful palace. And the story behind this palace is actually quite incredible also. For such a small town, Linlithgow packs a punch with history. But before we do, let's just have a look at this beautiful lake. It is such an asset for this town. And just appreciate the weather, because it's a total opposite of what it was about 30 minutes ago. I actually can't believe it. It's incredible that it was so dark, so gloomy, and now there's hardly a cloud in the sky. It's, yeah, dramatic weather change. Alright, I'm blubbering on. Let's go down to the town and check it out. So, our first stop in Linlithgow has to be the Black Bitch statue right in front of us. As you can see, for them to put a statue of this dog in the middle of town makes you understand how significant this dog is in the story of this town. As you can see, it's a greyhound dog, and I told you the story with regards to it tried to save its owner by feeding the owner. Linlithgow does a really good job with its information interpretive signage. It is throughout this little town, and directional signage as well. So if you want to read a little bit more about the Black Bitch and how significant it is in this town, then feel free to jump online. But it's on coat of arms, it's on statues, as I said, it's in the windows of many pubs along here and shops. It's truly significant. Then behind the Black Bitch statue is the beautiful lake, and just behind the lake is the main street of the town. It's a one street town, one main street town, and I love that. They're my favourite types of towns. You can't get lost, it's reasonable, it's busy with cars going up and down, but in comparison to a big city, obviously it's really, really quiet. And easy to navigate, beautiful to walk along these old buildings. So I'm just gonna walk a little bit further up there, and then I'll pick it up again up at another beautiful area that I want to show you. It's worth mentioning as we walk along and just having a look at this beautiful main street that the main shopping strip, I guess you could call it, it's pubs, bars, cafes, restaurants, a few shops dotted in between, runs for about 1 kilometre. So as I said, extremely walkable. At both ends of the main street, you've got supermarkets. So you've got Tesco in this direction, then you've got Sainsbury's and M&S in this direction. The town itself is really quite spread out, but the main area which we're in now is really quite small. So if you arrive by train, which I did, walking around is easy. So yeah, just an FYI. Coming up to the most beautiful part of the town now, and it's just lined with the most incredible old buildings that you're ever likely to see in a small town, except for this side. This side is where it's at the moment, and then it becomes like this on either side once you get up to the cobblestones on the road here. This building that I'm pointing at right now is where my accommodation is. It could not be in a better location. It is extremely central, extremely close to the most important parts of this town. But in saying that, it is easily the smallest room I have ever stayed in my life, which I may show you a little bit later. It's worth a laugh. But here we are, we've arrived at the most special part of Linlithgow. But I might just skip that quickly and just show you a little bit more of the main street before we head up to the palace and tell you a little bit more about the palace and how important it is to historical Scotland. Everywhere you look, there's just something to look at. It's just such, as I said again and again, a beautiful place. Scotland is bloody amazing. So I got shops, like normal shops where you can buy your kilts and your knitwear, little knickknacks, souvenirs, cafes like this one here. Bit chilly today to be sitting outside. Yesterday was actually really nice. It was sunny yesterday, but I was a bit busy to do a video then. And as I said, I also like doing videos in this kind of weather in Scotland. Makes you feel more Scottish than Scottish. As you can see, you got it's just lined with pubs, this street. I went out for a few drinks last night, visited about 4 pubs. It's a great place for a pub crawl. Apparently a lot of people come here from the major cities on weekends to do some pub crawls, and the drinks are really quite cheap as opposed to major cities, so that was a bonus also. But how's the buildings? It'd just be awesome to go for a look through most of them. My building that I'm staying in is old, but they've modernised the inside, so the character is kind of gone now, which is such a shame. Some of the old pubs along here, they've retained that character, and you just feel like you're having a beer back in the day in ancient Scotland, and it's just such a great feeling. I'm just going to keep this rolling maybe for another minute as we walk along, and yeah, just to give you guys a real good look at the main street of Linlithgow. The old post office over there that's been turned into a bar. I might cross over onto that side and get a little bit of a closer look at that side of the street, because it is a lot more better to look at. The train station, I love the train station here. It's one track, well, two tracks, two platforms. Easy, obviously, to work out. My type of town, instead of 20 platforms where you got to navigate your way, it's just a really comfortable city to be in. And then right there you got one of the smallest pubs in town, Platform 3 it's called. I went in there last night, but honestly you can probably fit about 50 people in there and it's full. So go in there if you like to stand shoulder to shoulder with people on a Saturday night. Just gonna run across here. Got the old Star and Garter pub here, which is really interesting because I've heard of the Star and Garter before, but that was in Kalgoorlie. There's a pub in Kalgoorlie called the Star and Garter. So perhaps the pub in Kalgoorlie stole the name from Scotland. Never knew that. Oh, blue sky. It's clearing up. Maybe we'll get some sun by the end of this and you'll be able to see both sides of Scotland. Sunday afternoon now, so Sunday all across the UK really is a reduced hours day. Also a lot of shops stay closed, so yeah, just be wary of that if you want to come to a town like this and expect everything's going to be open on Sunday. It won't be. So that's nice to look at on that side from this side now. It's a whiskey shop. Beautiful old townhouses. They're all so different from one another as well, all the brickwork. Just how they've all been made. It's just so good to look at. It's going to be sad to leave Scotland, to be honest. Could easily live in Scotland. Now this post office bar, wouldn't recommend it. It turns into a bit of a nightclub at night time and it's more for the young crowd. I much preferred the pubs to sit in and have a chat about the history of Scotland. I was chatting to an old guy last night. He was probably about 80 and just talking about the English-Scottish relationship, and really I already knew how much they hate the English, but he really nailed it last night with regards to their hatred for England and how they want to be separate from England, and he really thinks that that's going to be quite soon. I know they've been wanting that for quite a while now, but he seemed to think it was going to be soon, so that's really interesting. It will be good for Scotland to separate themselves from the English, and in particular the English government, who are apparently an absolute nightmare at the moment. So yeah, hopefully Scotland can get what they want and become their own country, which would be, I think, amazing for them. So I spent most of my time last night in this pub just here called the Four Marys. Cool little setup. Had a guy on a guitar playing music. He dead set played non-stop for about 2 hours last night before having a break. So really cool. All the pubs have stories about them. So the Four Marys was named after the four ladies in waiting of Mary Queen of Scots, who was born at nearby Linlithgow Palace. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. I might even just keep this rolling now. I'm going to cross the street here and go over to the most significant part of town. And as I said, my hotel is just right there, so super convenient. It's called the Linen Bank. On weekends it's too expensive for what it is, but on a weekday the price drops significantly, as I saw. Had I known that, I probably would have come here on a weekday. That would have been a lot cheaper, but oh well. So this is a well, obviously. Apparently there used to be about 10 wells in Linlithgow that people could freely come up to and get water. This one is obviously not in operation at the moment. That's still beautiful just to look at. I love this building here. I love how it's naturally coloured now. It's got all the lichen and all the dirt and grime on it. It just looks so beautiful. There's a lot to see in this little area, so hang in there. I'm sure you're going to be entertained because it's beautiful anyway. But yeah, just we'll do a really good deep dive into this area, or as deep as dive as I usually do, which is not very deep with regards to facts and information, but I'll try my best because I did do a bit of reading on this place because it is fascinating. You can kind of imagine yourself, if all the cars and stuff weren't here, just walking up this street back in the day on your horse or cart up to the palace up here. Just even just these little houses here, they're so beautiful. How nice is it? I've realised on some of my videos that my camera work is a bit all over the place, so I'm trying my hardest to steady that up and not be all over the place all the time. As we go, just have a look at these names on these have a look at these names on this wall. It's actually really, really significant, and the sign up here will explain why. So these plaques show the line of descent from Mary Queen of Scots, who was born in Linlithgow Palace, to our present monarch. So Mary Queen of Scots, who you would have heard about on movies like Braveheart type movies, is an extremely important figure in Scotland. And this is where she was born. Absolutely incredible. Just gonna have a quick look in this graveyard here. I love Scottish graveyards. There is just so much incredible history, and sounds a bit weird, they're actually really beautiful. They're really beautiful to photograph. So yeah, gotta have a look in a graveyard when you come to Scotland. There's not many more older or historical graveyards in the world, really. The burial place of the most noble and most ancient family of Linlithgow, built by the Honourable George Earl of Linlithgow, Lord Livingstone. So many names here that you just go, oh, I've heard of that name before. In movies and in historical books that you read. Wow, this is a cool view. Down to the loch there. Squirrel just over there. Squirrels are everywhere. They're really cute little animals. Oh, what a beautiful grave site. As funny as that sounds. Alright, so I'm going to go now into this cathedral slash church. That's also a good view just there of the town itself and the roofs, the old school roofs in this town. So it does go back a fair way. There's a few streets back. Definitely not very far, but as I said, it's very long. So I walked the other night to get a pizza, and I walked for about 2 kilometers, and yeah, it was just houses after houses. So there's quite a few people that live here, but still I would classify it as a small town. So it's Linlithgow and Avon Valley Parish Church, Church of Scotland. And I'm pretty sure it's open, so I'm going to go inside and have a look. Oh, look at this archway. How nice is that? Yet again, allowing cars into places where they shouldn't be really is disappointing. Geez, it just takes away from the area. These cars, just park them somewhere else. Anyways, let's go in here. I'll be quiet and see what we can find. That is a really beautiful church, I must say. The music in there that they were playing just really added to that as well. So this is Linlithgow Palace. As I was saying at the start of this video, the palace has been left as is, as it was left. Nothing has been renovated inside, and it is actually incredible. I'm not going to go in there now because I paid to get in there yesterday, and I didn't do any filming in there, so I took a few photos. So if you want to see those photos, they will be on my Instagram page. It's £11 for adults, I believe, to get in there. Obviously you can get family tickets or concession tickets or whatever, but I do strongly encourage everyone to go in there when you visit Linlithgow. It is beautiful, and that is not an understatement. There's a lot of rooms, there's some towers that you can climb up in. It gives you a great look or view over the lake and the town as well. It's just, yeah, just a great place to go in, and one of the most significant locations in Scotland, being the birthplace of Mary, Queen of Scots. Have a look at this down here. I haven't been on this side yet. This is the best side. This is so cool. Love how they landscape this. This is incredible as well. This would be bloody nice on a nice summer's day, having a picnic along here. This would be packed, I reckon, with families, people out on their boats, doing some fishing and maybe even swimming. Although, as I was walking around yesterday, I saw a lot of blue-green algae, which is a little bit sad. So swimming there would be off limits at the moment. But otherwise, maybe during summer it would be okay. Have a look at this. Oh, I still can't get around how they make these places without machinery, without the modern day tools that we have today. It's just really incredible. And then the church behind it, and then the autumn trees there. Everything in Linlithgow is beautiful. Oh, I can't get around, I can't get over it. Let's go up here, see what's down here. I wonder what the significance of these hills are, why they're like this. Yeah, it's interesting. Might have to read up about that. I'm not too sure. But the weather has really changed now. Changes so quick. Anyways, I don't think I've missed anything in Linlithgow to talk about. I probably have, of course, but off the top of my head I can't think of anything. Just going to go for a short walk through these trees just to... I know I've already shown you autumn in Scotland, but let's just get over here and go for a bit of a walk. Go back up there. Oh, there's a sign here. Let's have a quick squiz of this. Pleasure Palace. Sounds interesting. Early beginnings. A manor house had existed here since 1143. Bloody hell. Recorded when David I granted skins from a cattle sheep pastured nearby. So it looks like, yeah, that was the main entrance, which is really fascinating. That door just up there used to have stairs going up to it. How fascinating. And really a great idea, having that right onto that view there. Anyways, I'm gonna head up to my room because I want to show you my room and show you what you're in for if you book accommodation, a single bed accommodation in a room in the accommodation I'm staying in. So we'll go over there now and check it out, and then I'll finish this video there. But super happy I stopped in Linlithgow, a place that not many people have heard about, but a place that is super important in Scotland's history. Just before I go to my room, I just came up the hill again, just here, just admiring the view. And I forgot to mention that, as you can see, there's a walking path that goes around the entire lake. This is such an asset for Linlithgow. People are out and about enjoying it. It's, I don't know, it looks about maybe about 3 kilometers around, I would say. Less, I'm not sure. But yeah, just a beautiful part of the world. So yeah, just wanted to point that out while the sun is shining, how nice it is. Right, off to my room I go. So on the way back to my hotel, I found this beautiful little garden here that is just on the left as you're coming back down to the main street. There's a cafe just there, and utter beauty in here. Yet another nice place just to chill out, get away from the traffic noise, have a picnic, and just appreciate the beauty of this place. It's quite funny. I saw a sign back near the castle, and had all the names of the plants and whatever. And you're looking around, going, "Oh, these are all the plants that I get paid for getting rid of in Australia." Like you got hawthorn, for example, right here. And yeah, you just realise a lot of our weeds in Australia have come from Europe, and as you're travelling around, you realise that they're not weeds here, but you're also still angry towards them in a way. It's a bit weird, but yeah, as a environmental type person, you're always on the lookout for weeds, even though you're in another country where they're not weeds. Anyways, let's read about this dude. Hopetoun was born into Scottish nobility. This bronze statue, locally referred to as the Green Man, is set on granite plinth and shows John Hope, the 7th Earl of Hopetoun. There you go. Not super interesting. Definitely not in the league of Mary, Queen of Scots. They're everywhere, these squirrels. Not as tame as the ones in London. Let's just see how big these gardens are. I just thought it was a little area, but it's so beautiful. Linlithgow, for such a small town, geez, it has treasures around every single corner. I'm stoked that I was here for 3 nights. As soon as I arrived, I was going, oh, 3 is probably too long, but 3 is actually the perfect amount. You're not rushing to get along around so much. And you can do a deep dive into one of the most historical places in Scotland. I just wanted to take you down these stairs over here. And then, if I don't find anything else that's really awesome, like this cute little garden, I'll go to my room. Still want to walk through autumn leaves. Oh, this is beautiful. Definitely photo worthy. So I'm going to jump on my camera right now and take a few photos around here. But I hope you enjoyed this little side adventure into these beautiful little gardens that you shouldn't walk past like I did when you come to Linlithgow. Alright, cheers guys. Alright guys, so we have arrived at the time where I'm going to show you the smallest room that I've ever seen in my life. But firstly, it is actually really nice in here. As I said, they've modernised it. It is an old building, but they have done quite a good job at modernising it. So let's go. This is going to take a while to show you around because it's massive. And I've got the zoom right out so then you can fully appreciate the massive size of this palace. Check it out. This shower is probably the biggest thing in this room apart from the TV. This is my basin here on top of the toilet, to the point where it's just too narrow, too skinny, messy that I'm brushing my teeth in the shower because what else can you do? Rotate around here. You've got all these shelves and shelving and storage space, which is good, but it's taking up a central room. There's nowhere else to keep your bags except for under the bed here, which have created a little space here. Otherwise, there's just nowhere else. Have a look at it. It's a single bed. It's so fucking tiny. The TV for the size of the room is huge, which is great. I've been laying in TV at the night times and watching movies, which has been fantastic. But just, it's just comical, really. And as I said, outside of a weekend, it would be worth it staying here, but during a weekend, it's not. For the price that I'm paying for this little room, it's just way too expensive. Anyways, it does beat staying in a hostel, and this is the cheapest accommodation that I could find with a private room in this town. So yeah, I'm happy that I'm in a private room for a few nights. Speaking of which, I am leaving Linlithgow tomorrow to go to Glasgow. Been in Glasgow before, many years ago, staying there for 4 nights, which is great. But much like London, I know I said prior to going to London I wouldn't film there, but then I ended up re-loving London and I did do a lot of filming there. Glasgow is very spread out like London, so I'm not sure if I'll do any filming there, but I dare say I'm going to find some absolute gems to film and upload them. So yeah, who knows. After the 4 nights in Glasgow, I'm heading back down into England, having a few stops around there, one notable one in Liverpool. So really looking forward to the next couple of weeks left in, well, Europe really. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyways, hope you enjoyed Linlithgow. Such a historical, beautiful old town. It is, yes, simply stunning, to be honest. And as I said, it's only a 25-minute train ride from Edinburgh and not much further on to Glasgow. So yeah, a super convenient stop. I encourage everyone now to stop here and check it out because it is well worth it. All right, guys, cheers. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll upload again soon. Bye. Check it out though. It just makes me laugh, this room. It's ridiculous. Cheers.